Hey guys, you may be asking yourself, what the hell is this mess on this guy's kitchen counter? Well, this is my Xbox PC controller, which is really just an Xbox 360 controller with an adapter plug. But you may be wondering, why is it in pieces? Well, there was some kind of sticky goo in the bag I carried this thing around, and I had to clean it off, and then a little water got inside, so I didn't want to take a chance on shorting out the controller board, because water and electronics don't mix too well. So I basically had to take it apart and I figured, well, what a good opportunity to show you the innards of an Xbox controller because this has only been done about 5 million times before. So I figured I'd do it too. Anyway, here's the deal. Big things are, of course, the top case. And you see, when removing, you should really tape things together. Like I didn't there. See? This is the stupid man's version, by the way. But know that when you're putting things together, that in an Xbox controller, they have a set way to go. Usually there's a little tab on each side, and if I pull this out, you might see it. I've pulled out the whole thing now. This is the center button for the Xbox controller. You see it just kind of falls out there. Okay. There you go. You just kind of put that back in there, and it'll fit into this little collar here. And we'll put this back in here like that belongs there. And it'll line up. And there's only one way these line up, and if you don't get them set right, they won't fall in place. See, like I just got it to fall into place. So there you go. And all the buttons are like that. The two side buttons, all of them, they have like a fat tab on one side and a skinny tab on the other. The best thing to do is to take a piece of tape like I did and tape the buttons in. Unfortunately, I didn't tape the other 3 buttons in. That's why they fell out. But installation is, of course, the opposite of removal. So what I'm going to do is try to put this thing back together. I'm also going to see if I can do it one-handed. We'll start with the joypad contact thing. Okay, so there is an orientation to where these buttons go in, and if you look, you'll actually see there's a skinny tab and a fat tab, and that's pretty much par for the course for all the buttons. These pads, what they should do is you see they've got the pressure plates, and the fat parts should point down, or up in this case, since I've actually got the top of the controller in my hand. And just kind of get them set, kind of pressed in. There's usually some little tab like this or something here. The top one doesn't have that. But you see these black parts, those are actually contact points that will make a connection to the board. So go ahead and get this one in place, and they kind of just fit where they're supposed to go. There's usually some kind of contour, and you can kind of get a feel for it when it's feeling right. It just kind of sets. So, like I'm doing here. I've got all the buttons hooked up. So that's the top part. And then, hopefully you saw that. Again, the buttons, all here. This is all secure. What I'm going to do is, since I'm going upside down, I'm going to actually go ahead and grab the logic board that I've cleaned up. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Okay, let's try to reassemble these pieces. I like to have these knobs on because then it's easier to get them located. So I put these knobs back on the board. We just kind of drop it in place. And we've already got this little piece here. This is a little add-on piece. I don't know if you noticed this, but this little back piece here, we've already put that in. Just kind of fits. Just gently maneuver this. It's by feel. You shouldn't have to force anything. You're going to have a little bit of tension because of the kind of spring-loaded sponginess of the controller. But you should be able to feel, like this one isn't lining up. There we go. There we go. Now we got the joysticks. And you see that they're moving again, so they're good. So we're locked in. So that's good. The next thing I do is I put these little solenoid piezo motors back in. And just kind of go in this way, just kind of sit there. And there's only one way they're going to go in. Okay, it's obviously somebody with much smaller hands than I did was originally put these in here. So, we got that side. It only goes in one way. If you have to force it, you're doing it wrong. Let's see if I can do it. If you look on the back of this connector, kind of see a little bump out. You'll see it better that way. Probably not seeing much of nothing. But that corresponds to a little bit of a slot in the back of the connector on the actual board. So we'll try to get that lined up here. These little shaker motors. I think that's backwards because it's giving me a fight. It's hard to see. Let's try it the other way. And I kept these on their respective sides too. I don't know if it really matters, but I kept the one on the left and the one on the right. This one's giving me some pain. Okay, we got that one home. And it's sticking to my tape. Okay. So we'll get this back in its little seat here so that it can annoy me as it shakes and rattles and rolls when I hit a bump in a game. The thing I should mention right off the bat too, there is no Torx bits involved here. These are just standard, I don't know if you can see that, but they're just standard Phillips head screws. So no big deal here. Back on, do that, we'll kind of come over so we can capture. There we go. You see how I did that? I kind of went over the front buttons there, the front triggers, and see if we can get this to line up. Looks like it's lining up. Buttons all feel right. So what I'll do is the first button I'll put in is this middle one, which hides under this sticker, just like all Xbox controllers. I prefer to peel mine back rather than make a hole. I'm going to put the first screw back in, use a little jeweler's Phillips head, which is like a number 0 or whatever nomenclature it is. And that's the first one. So now it's not going to come apart. Put the rest in, but just to be sure. One up there. One there. I know this isn't the greatest how-to or instructional video, but it's kind of impromptu. That's what I do. Figure, well, I'm going to do it. I might as well capture it on video, right? Besides, it'll remind me in my old age, when I don't remember shit, I'll have a record of it, right? And that one's stripped out. That's nice. Good old American plastic. Okay. No, it's not coming out, so that's all I care about. I don't know why I did that. Shouldn't have done that. I wasn't over tightening it. But okay. What the hell? There we go. That one felt like it was going to strip out too, but it didn't. That was just going to be a bitch. Okay. Let's see if I get this last one in there. And they're caught. There you go. It's all back together, guys. There you go. We're all back together. Looks good. So, remember, button here, here, there's a bolt here, here, or screw here, one under this here, two here, D here. So 3, 6, 9 volts. So, or 7 volts. Sorry, I can't count. Anyway, that's the PC Xbox controller. Hope you found something useful in there. Just remember the big things is to make sure everything lines up. Don't force anything. We're gone.